Hey guys, so it's early June in 2024 and I'm here in Krakow in Poland. I'm going to do you a guided tour today and I'm going to tell you the ways not to be overcharged here in Krakow, some money saving tips for you and the scams that you need to avoid here in Krakow. So this tour is taken in early June in 2024. The weather today, well, it's been a bit rainy today. It's been sunny earlier in the day and then we've had some heavy rainfall. What you need to do when you come here on holiday, you need to bring an umbrella with you because the weather here can be inconsistent. Even in the summertime, it'll be lovely and sunny for lots of the day, and then you'll get sudden rainfall. You can get some quite heavy rainfall, so you do need to be aware in the summertime here that the weather is uncontrollable really, and the weather is changeable, and you will have rainy periods here throughout the day. So the main scam that you need to watch out for here when you're here in Krakow is the strip club scam. Now, people will approach you at the main market square of Krakow, and promoters will come up to you in the street. They'll be very, very good at sales, and they'll promise you many different things. They will ask you to go into a certain type of nightclub, into the strip club, and they will give you a special promotion to go inside. They might give you a discount on your first drink or promise you the most amazing night inside that strip club. But when you go inside, you will spend a massive amount of money. A few days ago, I met a gentleman who spent over £1,000 inside the strip club. He was completely misled by the representative outside. He's gone into the strip club with his friends and they've all spent a massive amount of money in there that night. So just to warn you really about when you're here in Krakow, you have to be aware that you know, if people do approach you in the street at night time, late at night, and they're offering you to go into a strip club, then you will spend a lot of money inside that strip club. It will be misleading. Various customers have actually told me that they've had their drinks spiked in the strip club, so massive amount of monies were taken out of their accounts. When they checked their account, a huge amount of money was taken from their accounts. The ways they do it, well, what they do is when it comes to the payment, you punch in your card number and they say, no, the card's not gone through, do it again, try it again. So then you try your card again, and then they say, no, it's not gone through, and then you try it again. So they've actually billed you multiple numbers of times. Another one is that there is no prices on the menu. So the guys have gone inside the club and they've not looked, they've just ordered drinks. Maybe they've ordered drinks or a girl's come over to them, they've ordered some drinks as well for the girl, and there was no prices on the menu, and they've bought a drink or a cocktail for a girl, or a few cocktails and a few drinks, and then all of a sudden they've got a massive bill of hundreds and hundreds of pounds or thousands and thousands of pounds. There's also the two-girl bar scam, where two girls come over to you in the street, start talking to you. They lead you into a bar. They say, oh, you're here on holiday, where are you from? You say, where are you from? They lead you into a bar. They choose the bar that you go to, and then you've got an absolutely massive bill after buying them a few drinks, a few cocktails. You bought yourself a few drinks, and then you have got an absolutely massive bill because there was no prices on that menu. It's just a misleading situation. Hi. Hey, how's it going? Hey. This is a really nice restaurant here on the left side called Starka. They do good food there, They do good food there in Starka restaurant. And they have a very good lunch menu between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock as well. So I do recommend Starka. There's plenty of good restaurants here in the Jewish area. This is the Jewish area called Kazimierz. So another thing to avoid when you're here going into all of these bars and restaurants here is any extra charges. So you want to watch out for extra charges. Here in Poland, if you order a cup of tea can be quite expensive in some places, so check the menu before you order. And if you order, for example, if you want some milk with your tea, or if you want butter with your bread, because Krakow is a tourist city, one thing they do to tourists here is charge you extra money for things like milk in your tea, and charge you extra money for things like butter. But that depends on what Polish city you're in. I've been to Lublin recently. They didn't charge anything extra for milk, for example, or butter. I've been to cities like Warsaw as well, and there was no extra charges there for things like a little bit of milk with your tea. But here in Krakow, I think in a lot of places they will charge you extra money for some milk with your tea, and some extras like that as well. This street is called Józefa Street. This is a really lovely street to check out in the Jewish area. It's very, very historic. Look at the facades of the buildings. It looks absolutely lovely. And you've got, it's a very eclectic area of Krakow. You've got art galleries here. You've got lovely cafes, but they're not chains. There's no McDonald's here. There's no Burger King. There's no Starbucks. These places here are you know, individually owned businesses. They're very unique and very unusual types of businesses. Let me just show you to the right side. Hey, how's it going? Hey. So here's a lovely cafe, very unusual, with a lovely garden in the back. And this is the type of place, hi, hey. This is the type of place that you'll find in Kazimierz in the Jewish area of Krakow. Please subscribe at Travel with Col with a C-O-L.
Travel with Col, we'll be there.
Cheers, thank you, bye, bye, bye. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of tourists as well in this area, in Kazimierz area of Krakow. It's a lovely place to see, and it's quite unusual. It's very different to the main market square area. In the main market square, you have all the commercial businesses like McDonald's, Starbucks, Cafe Nero, Burger King, all the names that you know. But this is different, this area. It's very unusual. It has a lot of history. This is one of the oldest Jewish areas in the whole of Poland. So other things to watch out for really is the hot dogs. So when you're at the main market square of Krakow, they sell these hot dogs for 40 zloty, which is like £8 for a hot dog. But you can go to Halatogowa area in Krakow and you can get the best hot dogs in the whole of Krakow in Halatogowa, and they do the most unbelievable hot dogs there for only 15 zloty. But if you're in the Mały Rynek, or if you're at the main market square, for example, they have hot dogs for 40 zloty, which is £8. And it is so expensive, so overpriced. So just check the price before you order anything. These are like stalls in the small square and in the big square selling those hot dogs. So just always watch out for the price. Always check the menu before you order things as well. Now, in this Jewish area here, you might go into these bars and you might think, well, you can buy a beer here for about 20 zloty. It's about £4. If you find one of the cheaper pubs, it's about 15 zloty, which is about £3. So you might think it's quite reasonable, similar to a small town in England, really, for a beer in this Jewish area. But if you start ordering things like wine, wine is very expensive here in Poland. A bottle of wine can be 120 zloty, 150 zloty. It can even go up to 200 zloty in some places I've been to here. So always check the menu before you order wine. Wine is considered a luxury in Poland, and it is expensive in Poland. When Polish people go out, they generally drink vodka. Women are drinking vodka here with a mixer or something like that, maybe a vodka apple juice. And there's various cocktails you can buy as well. But because wine is expensive, wine is not so popular here in Krakow. So in terms of inflation, inflation here is very, very high. In the last 2, 3, 4 years, inflation has been huge, maybe 30 or 40 or 50%. Really, things are quite expensive here now. I mean, in terms of shopping, I mean, I like designer clothes. I like to buy all the names and I like to dress well. And when you go out buying designer clothes here at the shopping centres, I'd say the prices are higher than in England. I bought a pair of trainers recently, and here in Poland, they're 800 zloty. And I checked the price difference, and in England, you could buy the same trainers for like 500 zloty. So in terms of designer clothing and that type of thing, buy your designer clothing in England before you come here. There's many things that are very good value for money here in Krakow. Vodka is very, very good value for money here in Krakow. Vodka is much cheaper here than what you pay in England. Beer might be maybe about 10% cheaper here than what you pay in England, or maybe 20% cheaper, but it depends which bar you go to. If you're here and you go to a British pub with a British name, an English name, or with an Irish name, you will pay probably English or Irish prices. You'll pay double the price of a Polish pub. But if you go to a Polish pub here, you can pay half the price. There's a pub called Banja Luka, and there's another Polish pub called Pijalnia. And at Banja Luka and Pijalnia, you can buy a beer for about €3, €2.50 for a very, very low price. But if you go to a British pub here, you might be paying, say, €6, something like that, for a pint of beer, because it's got an English name outside the pub, and that's all you're paying for is the English name. So these restaurants here that you're looking at now, see, look at the one on the left side, it's called Plac Nowy 1. These restaurants mostly have a daytime menu between 12 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So what you want to do is walk around these restaurants and find out if they have a daytime menu Monday to Friday between 12 and 4. Just ask them, do you have a daytime menu? It's called a dania dnia in Polish language, and that will save you a lot of money, and it might be 50% cheaper for this special daytime 3-course menu. Sometimes you pay 35 zloty, which is £7. Sometimes you pay 40 zloty, which is £8, but you'll get a really nice 3-course meal for that. So this one here is called Nova. That's a really trendy resto bar. It's about £5 for a pint of beer in there. They do cocktails in there as well. I believe it's about £8 for a cocktail, something like that. So a kind of similar price to what you pay in the big cities in England, really, as well. So this square is lined with lovely restaurants to choose from. This is a lovely bar here. This bar here, just on the corner, is a very, very nice bar. Let me just show you outside and just show you the decoration inside as well. This bar is called the Zinger Bar, like a singer, but it's Zinger. And here's the menu outside. And look at the old typewriters there on the table as well. And there's lots of graffiti on the walls here, but it's like designer graffiti. It's really cool. It's like really arty and really cool. The area looks kind of old and nice, you know. It's a very unusual area, Kazimierz area of Krakow, and it's definitely worth a look when you're here on holiday. I also recommend you all the day trips and excursions when you're here. We do day trips to Auschwitz, the salt mines, to Zakopane. We do guided sightseeing, city tours on the golf carts. I do guided tours. If you need any trips or tours, just drop me a message on comments and I'll drop you my WhatsApp number and I can organise your trips and tours when you come here. I'm British and I've lived here for a long, long time, and I organise very, very good tours. I'll make it all easy for you as well, guys. So something to watch out for when you're going to the restaurants here in Krakow is not at every single restaurant, but at some restaurants they have the prices here in grams. So for example, if you're ordering a steak, for example, at a restaurant, and you look at the menu, and the menu has the steak and it says 50 zloty for 100 grams on the menu, but you don't look at it, you just look at the menu and you order the steak. So some tourists said they were confused because the bill was totally different. It was like 250 zloty for the steak because the price was for 100 grams. It was 50 zloty for 100 grams, so the total bill for the 500 gram steak is 250 Polish zloty. So that was just some confusion, really. I think you just need to look very closely at the menu, and you need to be aware that that price is for 100 grams, not the total price of the piece of meat. So another thing is to be aware of the local customs and the local laws when you come to a country. Like here in Poland, you can only cross the road here on a green light, because to cross the road when you're not on the green light, that is jaywalking and that's illegal. You can't just walk across the road here in Poland, because if the police do catch you, that is an offence, that is a criminal offence. You're not allowed to do that here in Poland. So wait until it's a green light. That's just a local law, a local custom, and you can cross the road then totally legally and you will not get fined. Another thing I want to warn you about is when you get the tram here in Poland, you buy your ticket for the tram, but you also need to stamp your ticket for the tram. If you just get on the tram and you buy a ticket for the tram, then you don't stamp your ticket. That is not allowed. That is a criminal offence here. You will be fined money here because you've not stamped your ticket on the tram. So you must be aware of that. Just when you get on the tram, there's a machine on the tram. Punch your ticket in the machine on the tram and stamp your ticket, and then everything will be fine. So on the corner here, straight ahead, you can see a bar called Alchemia Bar. Alchemia is one of the best bars here in Krakow, and I highly recommend you a visit to that Alchemia Bar there, just on the corner. It's a really, really cool place to chill out. You can buy Czech beer there, but when you go inside, it's very, very old. It's been open for about 30 or 40 years, and it's very, very historic there in Alchemia Bar. This area is called Platz Nowy Square. Platz Nowy is the main square in the Jewish area, where you have all the nightlife and where everything goes on here. So one thing you need to watch out for when you're here though in the bars in Krakow, I've experienced this a lot recently in the last few years, is when you're in a bar or a restaurant and they say, I have no change. So for example, you've paid your bill and you've paid in cash, and then they say to you, well, I have no change. And that just means I want to keep your change. So make sure you have the correct money ready to pay your bill. You can also pay in your card in some places here, not all of them, maybe 70%, 80% of places. But if they say, I have no change, my feeling is that's when they want to keep your change as a tip. So the other thing is, with regards to currency exchange, changing your money, when you see the currency exchange shops here, they have a sign outside. Now that sign outside is the sell rate, not the buy rate. It's buy and sell. So when you want to change your money, you might see this amazing rate outside, but that's the rate to change Polish zloty into pounds or Polish zloty into euros. You want to change euros or pounds into Polish zloty, so that is the buy rate, not the sell rate. So you see this amazing rate outside, which is really misleading, but that is not the rate that you're going to get when you go inside and change your money. You must check about 10 different currency shops before you change your money. I've seen very, very good rates on Wielopolna Street. I've seen very, very good rates on one on Mikołajska Street. Sometimes he offers good rates there. I've seen good rates in the Galeria Krakowska shopping center. They very often offer good rates there. You need to compare the rates at all those places as well. Now, it is a legal requirement to carry ID with you all the time. You must carry ID with you when you're here in Poland, because if you don't carry ID with you, then that is an offense and the police can stop you. You want to bring ID with you really when you're here in Poland, and carry ID at all times. So here is the Pijalnia bar. I wanted to tell you about cheap places to drink here in Krakow. Pijalnia vodka bar. You can buy a vodka shot here for €1. You can buy a beer here for about £1.50 or something, I think. Let me just show you the prices outside the bar. These Pijalnia bars are very, very cheap. They're all over Poland. Basic old-fashioned decoration, and it's very, very, very good value for money. For 16 zloty, which is €4 or £5, you can get a meal. It will be all Polish food. You could buy zik, which is cottage cheese with boiled potatoes, herring in oil, white borscht soup, or you can buy the toast. They're like toasties with cheese and ham, or bacon and ham, and that types of thing. You can buy a glass of wine for 6 zloty in there, which is like €1.50. You can buy a beer for 7 zloty, which is less than €2 for a small beer in there. That will be a local Polish beer. Something to warn you about is you should buy Polish beer here, because Polish beer is a lower price than international beer. So if you buy a Polish beer, it might be, say, €3.50 for a beer, but if you buy a British beer here, it might be €6 or even more. Now, when it comes to renting a flat long-term here in Poland, the prices are totally different to in Britain. Here, you probably have to use an agency to find a flat now. There's not many flat rentals available, so you probably have to use an agency to find your flat rental, and you will have to pay 1 month commission. So 1 month rent is your commission that you pay to that agency before you move into that flat, and you have to pay 2 months deposit as well. So the fees are very, very high here. I remember when I lived in Spain before here, I paid about €120 or €150 for a finder's fee, and they found me an apartment to rent for just that. But here, for example, if your rent is €800 a month, €800 is the commission that you're going to pay that real estate agency for finding you that flat. So in terms of the local language as well, it can be quite confusing here, because sometimes, like when you learn Polish language, tak means yes and no means no, but no tak means yes. So that is really confusing. So if somebody says to you no tak, that means yes, and that is like local colloquial language from here in Krakow. And I recommend that you learn a few local words, like dzień dobry means good day, dziękuję means thank you, or you can just say dzięki. Instead of saying dziękuję, just say dzięki, that means thank you. And piwo means beer, vino is wine. And it's worth learning a few local words as well, just so you can, local people would be more friendly to you then if you learn some of the local language as well. So this is the heart of the Jewish area, and all of these in the middle of the square here, these are all food stands. Now the majority of them are selling zapikankas. See the yellow sign there where it says zapikanka, and that is like a pizza baguette, very, very famous here in Poland. You only pay about £3 or £4 and you get a lovely pizza baguette. It's you can choose all different toppings. You can get like a Mexican one, for example, at one of these stalls. You can get one with just cheese and mushrooms. You choose what toppings that you want on that baguette. So guys, thank you very much for watching my guided tour today, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Travel with Col, and that's Col with a C-O-L. Please give me some likes as well and some comments. Thank you very much, guys. Have a nice evening. Bye bye. Cheers.